And I'm an author, and love what I do. It's kind of it. Meet the
Hey,
needs, that stuff.
yeah, in the middle of this, so right now, just tell them where we can find you because you haven't been putting up your book. You haven't been putting anything out there
I
lately.
haven't been. Yeah, I've been
I
so
know.
busy trying to get organized and move. Some of you may or may not know, but my new home now is Jacksonville, Florida. And
Whoa.
yeah, so I am at lindahartstreeter.com. I do have updates and changes coming to my website, so you all it's going to be really nice. But at any rate, you can find me there, lindahartstreeter.com. I'm also on Facebook under Linda Hart Streeter, and then my business page is Love and Relationship Matters with Linda.
There we
And
go.
so those are ways you can reach me. I'm on Instagram as well.
And it's cool. Who's the cool guy in the middle with the shades on?
In
Mr.
the middle,
Green
I
Bay
want to send
Packer.
a shout out to Linda Duval.
Yep, Duval.
So
True, yes.
I am Matt Dorsett, aka Red Wine. I'd like to welcome you again tonight to Healthy Living and Healthy Relationships. We're gonna keep it growing and sexy tonight. I want to show you guys what I'm drinking on, what I'm sipping on. If you're welcome, and you're more than welcome to sip with me as we talk about relationships and the things that make them work, the things that make them go, the things
Yes.
that make them profitable.
A
Okay,
relationship is a business.
I
It
like that.
is
The things that make them profitable. Okay.
things that make them profitable. Because guess what? Tonight we're going to learn that it may not be about love, but it may be more about what you guys have in common and what are your common goals.
There we go.
Do you want the same things? So we're going to talk about some of those things tonight. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Ah, here we go. All right. And I am Steve Pierce, the Doctor of Love. Like Matt said, we're here to discuss all of these things. And the reason we're here to do it is because we want you to hear it from a man's perspective. So if you have any questions, get them up, get them up, get them up. And we are ready to go. I see you, Renee. I see you, Jacqueline. Let's get this party started. First of all, Mr. Dillion, you showed up. What you were drinking? What was the name of that again?
This is
Red
called
wine?
Naomi.
Mayomi. It's like lay on me. Mayomi. Okay, I ain't mad at you. Also, you showed me something earlier, and I'm kind of curious of how you do it or what you're doing. You're part ownership in the Green Bay Packers. So,
Okay. Cool.
oh yeah. Yeah, for those don't know, the Green Bay Packers is owned by the city.
So
So
we
Oh.
there you go.
publicly shared. We can sell public stock through the city, but you have to have been either a team member or a part of the city in order to purchase the stock.
Oh,
There you go.
interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah, my man got his certificate.
Yes, sir.
Not only a player, he's the president.
Yeah, I love it.
That's what's up. That's what's
You
up.
gotta
So,
have red wine to that.
that's right. Lisa Bell is in the house. Lisa, where are you? Are you in Mexico? Or are you back in San Francisco area? Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Y'all getting some questions. Get some questions up. What y'all want to hear? I think we was going to go back over what we discussed last week, and then I guess in the last 30 minutes we're going to speak on what Matt just the topic Matt just had. Linda, do
Mm-hmm.
you remember what was the topic? It was the baby daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so coexisting with the baby mama and baby daddy. So we can continue on with that, or we can talk about, is love the most important thing, or do you guys want the same things, and learning to love after. We can
There you
talk
go.
about it.
Well, let's discuss that first and let people come in with questions. So I'm drinking water right now. So go ahead, red wine. Let's start off.
So
You
I'm
can start it
curious
off.
to know. So I'm curious, Linda, and I want to know, is love, what is the true value of love in a relationship? Or is it more important for the two people to want the same things and learn how to love later? Help me out. Talk to me.
Let me take that first, because she got a look on her face like, what you saying? What you talking about, Willis? I think I think it starts off with love first. I think it starts off with love, especially at a younger age, and then later on, when you get more mature, you start thinking about business, and you want to go in a relationship with somebody who can help you grow. At a younger age, it's always love. You don't think about, okay, am I going to marry? I want to marry somebody who's going to help me get to the next level. I don't think at a younger age we think like that. It's a maturity thing. What do you think, Linda?
Well, well, not I think, but I know the foundation to any relationship is love. So whether you're compatible in terms of your goals or wherever you're going in life, love is the fundamental thing that makes a relationship work. And so how do you establish even a partnership if there's not a love for the person? Now, ordinarily, people go into a relationship because of the emotion of love, the fantasy, the excitement,
right,
of like this new love. But we know a lot of times those relationships are short-lived because it has to be deeper than that.
Are you sure about that? Or is that just your opinion?
I say a lot of times those relationships I say a lot of times, I didn't say in every case, but often those relationships are short-lived. Unless they just want to be partnered. How do you develop affection for a person? You want more than just a business partner. You're expecting intimacy and affection in that relationship.
Okay, think about this. Let me ask Red Wine this. Would you go out would you go out with Oprah? Would you marry Oprah?
Hell yes. Hell yes.
You see what I'm saying? Saying?
With the quickness. And anybody who says that they wouldn't is lying, okay? Because if Oprah came calling, you're going to answer the phone. Simple
exactly.
as that.
So that's what I'm saying.
So are you saying you would be marrying her for her wealth, or because she's someone that you could love? So
here's the thing.
What are you saying?
I would think that Oprah and I want the same things. Okay. And I think I would learn to love her or grow to have some sort of kindliness toward her later on in life. I don't know if I would ever fall in love with Oprah, as you guys like to say. I don't like to use in love. I told you that. I feel like you either love somebody with your mind, body, and soul, or you don't.
Yeah, that brings up another question. Because back in the days when you're a king, then how do you say it? What am I trying to say, Matt?
Arranged weddings.
Arranged weddings, and they're not in love. I'm thinking of what was Eddie Murphy's movie, Coming Back to America. Coming to America. There was arranged weddings, and they didn't love each other. They didn't even know each other.
Well, that's why Eddie Murphy didn't do it in the movie too, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but he went on and found his queen. He went to Queens to find his queen.
He
I'm going to Chicago and find Oprah.
I'm just saying he was looking for more than that. But you know what? I think relationships goals are really the bottom line to that. I don't think there is one script or answer for everyone. It depends what your value is in that. If it means a lot to you to have, that's why you have dating site for people who are looking for the rich and the wealthy. If that's important to you and you can learn to love the person, that's what you do. And for some of us, our value may be different. So it just depends.
Is that what dating sites are for? Finding somebody rich?
Well, you can find dating sites that are unique to whatever you're looking for nowadays. If you're just looking for swingers or sex partners, you can find a website, a site for that. If you're looking for, sometimes women are looking for the millionaire. They got sites for millionaires.
Yeah. So, who do you think? Let's give me a percentage, both of you, of is it more women looking for money, a wealthy man, or is it more men looking for a wealthy woman?
Oh, I don't know that. I mean, there may be some research on that. I can check and see, but I can't give you a number off the
What
Right.
top of my
about
head. I
what
can't.
about is there more wealthy men and women looking for men and women? I think it's in reverse. I think everybody can say, well, listen, if I meet a millionaire, I can be happy. But what about the millionaire seeking someone to make him happy, him or her happy?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
just going back to that question, you know, you have that. You have millionaires. These older guys, they have money. It's nothing
So
for them to have. You know, to them, back to a person's value. What's important to them? And for some guys who are older and they have the money, they will wine and dine the ladies. That's all. They don't mind giving up the money,
they already got their money. Yep.
even if she just looking at him, you know, strutting before him. But so you have that. It just goes back to what a person wants. I think, you know, that's why you can go shopping for anything on the internet.
Do you think men with money, wealthy men, um, respect women? Because I see it a lot of times. I see a lot of wealthy, rich white men dating younger females. Do you think they respect them, or do they think you think they just want eye candy or a trophy on their arm?
And see, that's another general question. What was his name? The guy that did the Playboy magazines, who had all
Hugh
those women.
Hefner.
You have to.
For instance, that's an example there. What do you think that was? You know, do you think that was respect, or he just wanted eye candy?
He was different though. So he the way he operated was on a work basis. So it was like a working relationship sort of. And
Whatever.
everybody, well, I watched the documentary on it, and so that's where my information comes from. But
Hmm.
he had working relationships, and so as they benefited him, he had use. When he no longer had use, or there was no longer a benefit, he moved on, and they all understood it. And so they came into it knowing that, this is you're my number one, okay? And then when you're no longer useful, then I'm gonna move on to someone else.
Well, I'm just
You
trying to
still get to live
understand
in
it.
a
I'm
home.
trying. Okay, I'm trying to understand the question, and you guys are men, so maybe you should be answering that question instead of me. What these men are looking for? Do they see it as respect? Are they respecting a woman, or are they just looking for eye candy? That was kind of the question.
Well, I can tell you, let me tell you what I know for a certain. The eye candy and the trophy wife don't last long. Because I'm gonna tell you
Exactly.
like this here.
No
I got
substance.
trophies, they're collecting dust.
So, do they respect them, or what? That
I
was the
think it
question Stephen
initially,
had asked.
I think it initially starts that way.
Yeah.
It
Because
initially starts what way?
I
Respect.
think it starts with
Respectfully.
respect. And I think that people either gain or lose respect
Exactly. They
over
they
time.
got to come in. They have to come in carrying their weight. You know what I'm saying? I've heard certain friends of mine telling me this man walked in the room. Oh my goodness, he could get it, and he had it until he opened his mouth. He talked his way out of it. You know what I'm saying? That has to do with some relationships. Men, we see somebody we like, oh, I can get with that. And I think I can build a relationship with that just visualizing it. But when they open their mouth and start talking, that's when sometimes things go the wrong way. You can talk the way out of a relationship. Just
I
because
well,
we
yeah.
always we talk about
I think
stalking.
initially it starts with respect, though, Linda. I think it
I
initially starts, and I think that people, as people move further in the relationship, I think people begin to lose. But I think initially, I think it starts with respect.
well, I think it depends on the arena that you're in. I mean, I've seen enough documentaries, TV, and just being around when you start talking about men respecting women and beautiful women. They may respect the look of a beautiful woman, but depending on his arena where he's functioning at, she's another piece of meat. She's a sex object. And we cannot minimize that, because that, and especially if she dresses provocatively, sexy. Come on, that's where
The woman's sexy, but sexy.
And then depending how far that relationship goes, it has a lot. It determines a lot about his level of respect for her.
She's sexy.
But there are certain things that we like. We like provocative.
Well, I'm just still saying, you guys are saying, are you all saying that these men don't disrespect women at that caliber?
Well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's a level of respect initially. I don't think you can go in being disrespectful and
so what about the sexy one
to be accepted?
What about the sexy one that they meet in the strip club or on the pole that they take home with them?
Well, you got to respect the stripper as well.
That they could surround themselves with in their parties, and they invite the women in. And you go back to the one who Epstein and the stuff that you think is that respect.
Now Epstein, that's different. Epstein was different. He was
okay. So all I'm saying though,
he was being manipulative.
Epstein is not the only man out there that does that.
Okay. Well, but I will say this, and I'm in all fairness, because I've been in those arenas. I started at a very young age in that arena, and I'm just going to say that even regardless of how much money you had, you still had to be cool. Like, you couldn't be the one that the girls like, I don't like when he come around. You still had to have some sort of coolness, or some sort of what they call flair about yourself. Okay.
Yeah, a charm to work the room.
They call it swag or flair.
Well, see, the question we were answering, this was about whether or not men respect women or not.
And I'm answering your question, but what I'm doing is I'm building my case.
Not about what the women feel and how his ability to maneuver his charisma.
But I'm talking about the men
to get to her. I'm
talking about the men. I'm talking about men.
Well, some men respect.
We look at it.
Some men
respect. We look at it is you have to have. You can't just be the village idiot, come in and ruin it for everybody else. So there is. You have to have a level of respect, because we understand that being disrespectful is going to ruin fun for everybody. So there is a level of respect. Now, how high is that respect? I can't tell you that.
Yeah, because it depends on the individual. We're not all alike. Like you were just speaking of someone being sexy. Sexy to me, I mean, is not half dressed. Sexy to me is somebody fully dressed in a nice business suit. That's sexy to me. Some men like women with great breasts showing and their ass showing. That ain't me. That's a total turn off.
So I think we moved away from the subject. But anyway, so what's our next question then? Because
okay,
and we're not. But anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Read some of the comments.
I can't. You know what? I'm actually on my phone.
I got it.
So if you're able to see the comments,
I can't go back.
So we got a lot of people saying good evening and hello. So Jacqueline said, "Why don't black people go to therapy?" Renee said, "I could never marry for nothing but love." Then Renee comes back and said, "I could never just marry for money. I have to feel him, not his money." Cheryl said he probably have money and all he wants is your company and wants you to not argue with him. So Cheryl also says marriage for money will never make no one happy. And
I'm caught up. I can see this now. Hey, Pam. Good evening, Pam.
Here. Pam Taylor.
Pam says, what's the topic? And let me tell you about Pam. Pam had us at Superbowl. Oh, my goodness. She took us on interview row. I tell you, she works with the NFL Players Choir. She took us on interviews row, man. We had to interview with a whole lot of people. You guys
did a great job, too. I want to tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I enjoyed the movie, too.
Yeah. So it was hey, Pam, thank you, baby. She got us flying first class. My hats off. I would take my hat off, but I ain't combed my hair today, but it's all good. I see Anita. Anita Lofton is she's in the house. She's Anthony Hamilton's godmother. So hey, what's up? Tell Anthony you need to be on here. We need to get him on the show.
Tell
So
Anthony
okay.
I need tickets to the next concert.
And hey, we usually open with his song, with one of his songs. But I'm like I said, I'm in Chicago, so I can't even play any music right now. But that brings up not another topic. But how did you guys see the what is it, Versus Anthony Hamilton, the music Soul Child? You
No,
guys
I
ever
didn't see
watch?
that one.
Yeah, that was just I think Friday night. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was good.
Where was
Yeah.
I Friday night?
Friday night. Friday.
Oh, I was
This
headed to
week,
Austin, Texas. We had a serious Super Bowl gathering out there with my main man, Rod Walker, who's the president out of San Antonio and Austin. We had a huge Super Bowl celebration. Did a lot of great things. Got to see the city of Austin, the underground, the upper ground. Had a great time. Great time. Happy
right.
Valentine's Day, ladies. Happy belated
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, ladies.
Yeah,
And
last
you
year we
Linda.
had a show. We had a
You
show
too,
last
Linda.
year. Yeah. Did you guys get everything you wanted for Valentine's Day? Did you spend Valentine's Day with the one you want to spend it with? You know, and ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If you wasn't with that man or that woman on Valentine's Day, that ain't your man or that ain't your woman.
You can't take it.
I'm gonna just put that out there. People ask me, I was like, "You got a man?" I said,
You better get him.
"Were you with that man or were you with that woman on Valentine's Day?" If
Linda,
you wasn't,
you better
that
get
ain't your
him.
man. That ain't your man. I'm just saying, you know, that man or that woman was with somebody else. I'm just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? On Thanksgiving, if that man wasn't with you or your woman wasn't with you, they not yours. They not yours. I'm just saying. I mean, just simple things. So Pam said, "What's the topic?" I done forgot the topic already.
The topic is: Do you want love, or do you prefer to have someone that you have something in common with? The two of you want the same things, or do you want love? Or can you learn to love him? How about, or can you learn to love him later on?
I think it all starts off with love.
Linda says the very foundation of the relationship is love.
Yeah.
It starts with love. It has to start with love because if not, then why
I think
go
the
further?
foundation
You know?
of every relationship is communication.
Well, I think communication is just fundamental as a rule. You know, you have to have good communication, even if it's a business partner. But when you start talking about love in your relationship, yeah, love has to be there. Now, is compatibility important? Absolutely. Because I can love someone, but if there's a lack of compatibility, it doesn't mean we have to be together. You know, it may be the relationship may be in a friendship or a business in some other capacity. Because I'm fond of them, that doesn't mean I have to be with them if there's no compatibility in the relationship. Because we know at the end of the day, love alone doesn't keep two people together. Some people love each other and find themselves, you know, like, hey,
and
you know what?
they tolerate each other.
But yeah, they either tolerating each other or they feel as if I love the person, but we can't be together because they don't have that affection there. Having brotherly love for someone is one thing, but having
romantic
eros love, erotic love, eros love, that's something that's the love between two people.
I think this is what this show is about.
What
because
about agape?
Well, we're going to talk about that. I think this is what the show is about because most of us don't know what love is, or we're not on the same page. Love doesn't mean the same thing to me as it means to you. You know, what's the difference of being in love and loving someone?
There's no such thing as in love.
No such thing as in love. Can you explain that?
There's no such thing. You either have love or you don't. How can you be in love? Think about that. So basically, love is what? A deep feeling of affection. So what is in love? A deeper feeling of affection?
Right.
Come on,
Right.
man. Listen,
Exactly. Like I love you more.
What does God say? What does the Most High say about love? Does He say I'm in love with you?
So if you were
His love is defined as agape love, as
Okay,
the greatest love there is.
right. So that's the love that we need to make all other relationships work. Because agape love is what's called unconditional love. That's the God love. That's from the Creator. So in order for me to be a friend with you, which is a filial love, to be a good friend for you to you and loyal to you, I would think that I need to at least be seasoned in agape love, because that's what helps me to have you as a friend that is loyal to me, to not stab you in the back, to be kind to you, to be loving you. It's like agape love is the fuel to everything else. So a husband and wife, they have eros love, which is called erotic love. Well, in eros love, people can love each other fundamentally with the agape love, but not feel romantically charged with the person in the relationship. Or they can feel romantically charged, but if don't have a foundation of agape love, unconditional love, they hold everything against their mate. They are usually judgmental. And the kindness that you need, the consistency that you need to be able to love a person, in their shortcomings, in their faults, as well as when they're superb to you and looking romantic. God, agape love helps us there. That's where we're forgiven in the relationships.
But again, love means something different to other people than because I hear people saying, I love this man, I'm in love with this man, but he beats her. Is that the same love? You know what I'm saying? Until we get on the same page, we're never going to love.
Well, maybe he loves her. Maybe he loves her and he expresses his love by beating her. Maybe she receives his expression of love from his beatings. That's her way of getting attention from him.
Okay. Oh my God. Really?
I know that's the worst thing I ever heard. Right there.
I'm not saying that it's right, Linda. I didn't say that it was right. But there is something. Okay. There is some sort of affinity there. Don't you agree?
Linda, put him in timeout.
Okay.
I didn't say that it was
listen
right.
to it this way. You're right. There is a lot of confusion sometimes about love. In fact, I just finished talking about this 2 weeks in a row now with another group, and I've been with 2 other groups. And I was talking about the reason people are challenged to love at their deepest level, is because of a confusion of what love is. Is it love? Is it lust? Is it obsession? How do we get there? Has my, and then I talked about the fractured identity. So if you've been beat down, you've been abused, and if that's your way of getting attention, maybe that's the chemical emotion that you're feeding in your brain that says, this person loves me. Or if you're still dealing with a struggle with abandonment and rejection in your life, you will do anything to hold on to a person, even when they are abusing you. Or in cases where people who are in abusive relationships and have been in them for long periods of time, they don't just happen overnight. Abuse starts with some form of grooming. You get a person conditioned to say that if you don't do this or you don't do that, then if you just be good. So now they're thinking, this person is looking out for me. And as warped as it may sound, there's a deep confusion about what love is. There's confusion about, my way of receiving love. And sometimes it even starts in childhood, where a person has been talked down to, and they're just trying to win the affection of someone. And they haven't dealt with this trauma. They haven't been healed. And you're right, because nobody wants to be alone. There's that fear of being alone. Guess what they do? People will sacrifice who they are. They will sacrifice their own health, their own well-being, just to be in a relationship to say, I have someone, because at least he may beat my butt, but at least he doesn't leave me, or she doesn't leave me. But that's not love.
So we need people in those type of relationships. I mean, we need to understand that as Black folks, we need counseling. Where can we find this counseling at? Can you tell us where to speak to you at, Linda? One more again, because we're halfway done with the show, and
Yeah.
some of our people do need help.
Yeah.
So again, where can we find you at?
Well, as I indicated, you can find me on my website at lindahartstreeter.com. You can also connect with me on Facebook. And I will always answer and try to be there to give guidance. And I think we need to I am really about building relationships. That's why I do. I mean, I worked in the court system as a mediator in family court with couples to help them work out conflict. We can love each other. We can give each other what we need, but we need to recognize when we're not being sufficient at it and get help. We need to work on ourselves, deal with those warped identities and belief system that says me dogging a person out is love. Come on, nobody wants to be dogged out.
Exactly. Nobody.
In the name of love.
I never said it was right, Linda. I just said that it happens.
I know, but I'm just saying.
It was right.
The way you said it, though, I was like, oh, my goodness.
I never said one time that it was right. I only spoke to why they continue to stay in those relationships.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. So are we going to go back to the topic that we were supposed to be speaking about, or are we going to stay on this one?
Let's read some of the comments. Let's go to some. Oh, you can't see comments.
I
can't go back.
But there, Anita wanted to know did you guys know that Anthony and LaToya London came out with a new song together called On Everything. You can download it on all the platforms. And she also asked, she just said, right, I agree, love alone does not hold a relationship together. And Renee said, no, red wine. Cheryl said, man, red wine. She don't have to get beat for love and attention from no man. Red wine, okay. I'm going to need you to take several seats.
Yeah.
Well, let me correct red wine. Hey, he wasn't saying it. He wasn't saying it like that. He was just saying it in general. So
okay.
Yeah.
And T said, my ex told me his love was pain. He was beating my ass after 12 years. My answer was, I don't want to be loved like that.
There you go, T. So what did you do, T? Did you get up and leave or
12 years? But look how long she went through that. Nobody
12 years.
That. You want to believe that the person does love you. And sometimes women will be forgiven when he says, I'm sorry, and it won't happen again. And they stay until the next blow up. But it becomes very silica because it'll happen. And you go through the honeymoon phase again where they make up. And then over a period, sometimes even within a week, the cycle goes and the person start to, build up again. Then they explode, beat that ass some more. And then they go back through the cycle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They go through the honeymoon phase again. They just keep cycling. And next thing you know, you're in so deep. And see, and along with the physical abuse comes the mental abuse. Because it doesn't just happen with that. It's with
the verbal
beating. That's what I mean about the mental, the verbal abuse now, because it's about your character. It's about you being worthless. It's about nobody wanting you. Because nothing has ever changed about it. If you can take a person's mind, you can take everything. If you can manipulate the mind, you can do anything else you want.
Okay, T says she left and never looked back. She said
he's spit in my face. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
But my thing is, T, you were married to this man for 12 years. At what point was he beating you the first year? Or I'm kind of curious, how many ass whoopings will you take before you get out this relationship?
That's so insensitive.
For real, man.
I think that with T, I would be willing to say that some things said hello to her before they got married, and she ignored the call. I would be willing to say that there were some things that said hello to her while they were dating, and she didn't respond. And once they got married, I think that awakened by a lot of hellos.
Well, look at it. Look at that. Her age was from 16 to 29.
Oh,
So
wow.
at the age
or is that 16 to 29 times he beat her?
No, you asked her how long was she in there? How long was it? So I'm just saying, even in that,
he asked, Linda, he asked how many times did he beat her? And so 16 to 29, that's a lot of beatings. Oof.
It's a lot of beatings.
I don't think she counted them to that degree, but I guess she can say if that's
she said age. She said age.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
See how we think differently?
Damn.
Y'all see how we think differently?
That's what this show is about. Men think different from women.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so you think about it, at the age of 16, the only thing you know about love is what you have learned.
You don't even know love. You don't know love then.
And then I'm just saying, the only thing you know about is what you've learned from your childhood. You have not experienced during that period of a young lady's life. So if those of you who have daughters in that age, you need to watch out for your daughters, because this is when you're easily manipulated, and the mind is conformed to believe that this guy has a right to treat you that way. At 16, you feel that he has a right to treat you that way, and you should do what he says to do.
Let me ask T this question. T, put it up there. Did your dad beat your mom? Because sometimes when they see that, they think that it's okay. They think that's the way a man should treat a woman. You know what I mean? They think that's the.
What she is saying, something that I just said. How you're conditioned to believe and think that love is. She says that she didn't think she had a good sense of what
she said her parents were not together.
What a healthy love looked like. And most people, it's still that way today. People do not have a good sense of what healthy love looks like. See, love is not controlling anyone. It's not demanding. It's not rude. It's not abusive. That's not love.
It's not. And we need to teach love at an early age, because if we don't teach love to our young men or our young women, they're not gonna know what to expect.
Exactly.
They're not gonna know what to expect. So Michelle Johnson says, why are you wearing sunglasses at night? They made that song. They made that song about red wine. I wear my sunglasses at night. I said the
same thing, Michelle. No one can see his eyes.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle, what happened to you? I know you live in LA. Michelle is an actress in the LA area. How come I didn't see you at Superbowl or any of the events? What's up? What's up with that? Holla at your boy. So let's move on. So dang it, I can't go down. Pam said something about if a man ever raises his hands to her, he will receive hot grits. I can't go back.
If a guy ever raises his hand to me, he's gonna wake up with a hot grit.
And Drano. And Drano, liquid Drano? Oh my God.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Whoa, I didn't see that.
Wait.
She must be from Chicago. She must be from Chicago or something.
Partner. She from Augusta.
No, she's from Waco, Texas.
Hot grits and liquid Drano. Oh no,
she must. Hey, she learned that from Al. She learned that from Al Green.
She's straight out of me. She's from Memphis, Tennessee, baby.
I hear you. Hey, Cheryl says, "Show your eyes, red wine."
Now, Cheryl, if
she
you
said, "Show them right
eyes,
now."
You're gonna have to come over here and take these shades off of my face.
You can't. Hey, Matt, you can't be flirting with the audience.
Well, I love the audience.
Yes, we do, and we love them. So let's go on to the next question. Do we have any other questions in the comment book?
No.
Comment book.
There are no questions, just comments. So Cheryl says she's on her way.
Cheryl, bring another bottle of Naomi.
I hope you're getting paid from that, Matt, because we show ain't getting paid. Are you getting paid?
So do you all feel you were done? Not last week, but the week before, we were talking about, I guess, the baby mama, daddy mama drama and new relationships or something.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. We were supposed to get somebody on here.
Yeah.
Man, my mind be going so much. So I don't know. But where do we leave off there?
So Linda actually was talking about she was starting a program. I think it was Linda.
Oh yeah, to help
Yeah.
unmarried fathers, gain access to their children, because as we know, if you were not married, you don't have any rights. And so basically, I mean, you can pay child support, but you don't have rights until paternity is established, and a person goes for custody or parenting time with their children. And I think a lot of people, especially young guys, and particularly Black guys, don't know how to go about getting access to their children. So I talked about that. Yeah, that's some common information to, whatever state the person is in, to have them look at the rules and see, so that they'll know the laws around what they need to do to have access to their children.
And I think it's very important. One of the things you said is that they have no rights. And there's a difference between paying child support and establishing rights to your child.
Right. And being involved in your child's life.
Of course.
So I don't know if there were other
separate things.
Yeah. And then, also in last week, I don't know if you pulled those questions, Stephen, but there was some question people were asking in that week before that we were like, we would get to those next time because we were talking specifically about, the whole paternity thing and baby mama, daddy mama situations. So I don't know what those.
Linda, you can say it. It's okay. Baby mama, baby daddy. You can say
it. Baby mama, baby daddy drama.
Go ahead, baby.
She don't want to say it.
So
she can't even let it out of her mouth. Wow.
So who's that? Cheryl said it was supposed to be women that was supposed to be drama baby mama. No, you have some dads out there too.
No, I mean, it's probably not an equal situation, but there are some that dads that are equally full of the drama as the mamas are.
Okay.
So I'm just always concerned because most of the time the child lives with the mother, and I think one of the questions that came up was about the behavior of the child or the shaping of the child or whatever. And you got to kind of look at it like this. If you see your child every other week, basis what is what we would call standard visitation. So in a 14-day period, so you get your child on a Friday. Let's say you got your child Friday at 6. You had to return them Sunday at 6. So basically, you see your child for 2 days out of a 14-day period. So you can kind of see who would shape that child's thinking and behavior and, influence. So it's very important that you make sure that you do your best to be a part of the child's life in whatever way possible.
I was trying to go back to some questions from last week or 2 weeks ago, but I can't do it. You guys remember any of the questions from last week?
It wasn't last week. It was 2 weeks ago.
I mean, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can't. That's why I can't do it. Dr. Love was going to bring a woman on the show that is a baby mama drama. I was. See, Linda didn't remind me.
Who we got? That's a baby mama drama. That's full of that baby mama drama. Who do we have?
We got somebody on here. I can't scroll up. Pam, you ever have baby mama? Were you baby mama drama? Somebody on here was baby mama drama.
What about Cheryl?
Yeah, what about you, Cheryl? But you
got to
remember they're 20 seconds behind. I can't even scroll back. So who else is
there's nothing else. So last comment was from Cheryl about bringing someone onto the show.
Yeah,
no, I can't scroll. I can't scroll
on, and we get to kind of talk to her about what brought on the drama first of all, and why has the drama continued? I would love to hear her perspective on it.
Well, from a man's perspective, it's because of a breakup. If I break up with a female and she still wants to be with the man, that's usually what it is. Or she wants to be with you and you're with another woman. That's where the drama, she's not done with the relationship. That's what we see from a man's perspective. But I don't know
What about
happens
this?
from
Because
the female.
I've dealt with it. And so what about you love your son, but you can't love me? What about that?
Well, I want to know what women think about that. What goes through their mind when they're doing that? Do they think they're hurting a man, or do they know they're hurting a child? That's what I know. That's what this show is about. We're trying to bring us together. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what we think.
I want to know if they truly recognize the magnitude and the impact of what they're doing.
No,
because it doesn't look like anybody's being affected other than the dad. But later on, you find out that child has all sort of issues, and so initially you're raising a child that becomes emotionally distressed. What do you think, Linda?
well, what you're indicating, what you stated is true, but back to why these relationships go sour, there are a number of factors, but one of them, tend to be how the two people split. If you have a person who's still emotionally connected, involved, and the other person has walked away, and so you're looking at the pain of a person. I think a person's anger and their reaction speaks to their vulnerability. I think their pain speak to their mental strength and capacity. So are they thinking about the outcome of the child at that time? No, they certainly are not.
No, they're
and
not.
and and in many cases, I don't think even the father is thinking about that, because he moves on with his life and go into another relationship without trying to heal the first relationship. And as I say to people, even when you are splitting up and you have dependent children, you have a responsibility to try to make that relationship work until you can at least get, create some harmony between the two people that are going to have to co-parent. And you should do that minus some new person in your life. You have someone still struggling, whether it be the male or the female. Sometimes you have fathers that are still struggling too. And she has moved on, trying to introduce the child to another person, or he has moved on and wanted to have the child around somebody new, and you still have this broken relationship between the parents. So parents need to heal their relationships.
Yeah. So as men, the question was about to be who moves along faster, men or women, and of course it's men pretty much, because the women kind of carry the luggage of the relationship, especially if you have a child. They have to think about their child and where they're going next. Men, we can walk out and go and bounce anytime and then go to the next woman, and I don't think, as a man, I don't think that's fair because of the situation. But it happens all the time. So men out there that's listening, hey, we need to man up, and before we move on, we need to take care of our responsibilities before we start going in ruining somebody else's life.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
put that on us.
And
I'll put that on us.
because I think at the end of the day, um, one of the things that I would like for men to know is that if you've never ever seen it from a woman's perspective, I want you to take time out to think, to just switch roles for a moment. If I was the person who had carried a child, your body stretched totally out of shape, we feel fat and ugly when we're pregnant, okay? And then he walks away and he's with the next pretty thing, or you have the child, he may show up. It's a huge ordeal, first of all, to walk through a pregnancy by yourself and a labor with this child, and then he comes up later, like, pick you up, put you down just like that, irregardless of the child. Yes, it creates a lot of resentment, it creates a lot of hate back to the scorn when a woman feels scorned, and then she may not handle things right, and it's not excusing her behavior, because what I say to the stuff in that
Linda,
situation.
there you go. We got you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my phone ring, that's why.
Oh,
If you
okay.
catch, and I just dotted it off. And if you catch yourself in that situation, I think it's very selfish of a man and a woman to not consider the welfare of the child. And it's sad, because I saw it so much in the court system, that people cannot put their own fleshly desires aside long enough to build or create a foundation for raising their child, even if they're not going to be together. You don't have to be together. Nobody can force you to be together. But at a minimum, what you owe your child is for the two people to sit down and have a conversation about how you're going to move forward and co-parent your children. But see, we leave these relationships all raggedy and torn up, and then we turn back around after that, and expect to co-parent in a healthy way, and it doesn't happen. And guess who feels it? The child. And then when you relationship hop, you introduce the child to this person. Next thing you know, and I used to hear this too.
Uncle.
6 months later, you got another new girlfriend or boyfriend. You trying to bring the child. Every time you introduce a new child, a new person to that child, guess what? Your child is experiencing a loss every time. So think about the instability a child has to go through now, because they have seen dad with 5 or 10 women. One little kid in the video said, my dad's had 5 wives, Mom, things are not even settled, and you got another man in the house over your children. Grown people need to stop and get their acts together.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, at what point do we start seeking counseling? At what point?
I think day one. I believe day one. When the child.
What I'm trying to understand is, what is day one?
Well, the first time, I think the first time that you have to go to a court, the first time you need to go to court, counseling needs to be introduced. I think counseling should be introduced the day you have to go into the courthouse and have the judge decide your visitation, your holiday schedule, and all of that. Now you need counseling.
It seems like it should be way before that.
I think it starts when 2 people decide they're not going to be together. That's when it starts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should start way before that.
And because the only way you get into the court is because the first piece of paper that's filed is filed with the court. But if people learn how to talk and have conversations, you can get a mediator on your own. Or you may agree, let's file the petition so that we can run things through the court. We can go to mediation. We can sit down. We can take a co-parenting classes. There are things that people can do to better co-parent. But this thing about I don't care, your anger and your emotions getting in the way, and your child's life is at risk, for so many perils of life.
So you're saying when it starts to go sour, when you don't want to be with that person, or when you get to thinking or feeling some type of way, you call Linda Hart Streeter.
She's going to help you.
And start getting that counseling. Because she's going to let you know. She's going to give you the blueprint to where you really want to go. Because there's three kind of ways. Help me with this, Linda. Is there 3 ways you can go? You can either work it out. You can either leave. What's the other one? Or you can take it to court.
Yeah.
Or you can co-parent. Yeah. So with Linda, she can guide you. You know what I'm saying? She can guide you and help you.
Well, see, I think, like when you say counseling, this starts with 2 people, because first of all, we're just so sloppy as humans when we break up, just sloppy, just leave the relationship any kind of way. Sometimes there are no last words or communication at all. We just say, sometimes I say sometimes we just sloppy, we just out. And we forget until someone files a piece of paper, and then we want to stake our claim and our rights. But what about if, I said, we don't know how to break up. I used to tell these parents that in the class went through the course, we don't know how to break up. We come together, but we do not know how to break up. We just leave any kind of way. So why don't we be man and woman enough to say, you know what, this relationship has come to an end. We have a child here. Let's talk about how we're going to co-parent our child. Why can't two people have that conversation is my question.
Linda, I love what you just said, but here's the issue. And I used to deal with this a long time ago. Mm-hmm. You're not taught that from young. From young, I learned that most people were taught that when the relationship didn't go right, it was somebody's fault. Nobody was ever taught, and I can assure you this, nobody was ever taught that sometimes maybe you two just don't belong together. You're probably better off as friends. Mm-hmm. We were taught, and even myself, oh, it's somebody else. It's that one's fault. It's not you. And that's all in an attempt to make you feel better about the relationship, about the breakup. But in reality, that conversation should have been, hey, you guys don't work well together. And you're probably better off as friends. And so maybe you should try that as opposed to it's his fault. Because what you grow up believing is that whenever someone breaks up or someone treats you bad or something goes on, it's not me, it's them. As opposed to, hey, I don't think we're working out. The ability to have that conversation and talk about and have a breakup that's amicable instead of one that's full of drama. Because you realize, if you notice, Linda, when that relationship is drama filled and you break up and there's a kid involved, that co-parenting style becomes drama filled as well. Okay, so basically saying what you're saying, but there is as you say, there is a beginning to all of it. It doesn't just happen when the child comes. It began somewhere else, and now it's matriculated over into a child's here, a child's involved, and a child's now going to witness all of this.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to keep peeling this backward, like what you're saying, it starts at the point of you deciding that you're going to lay down and mate with another person, have sex. That's where it begins. And as I was always saying to people, don't come into court in my office telling me now how crazy they are, because I'm trying to figure out, when did you discover they were crazy? Was it before you hit the sheets or after you got out?
But now, but I'm gonna say something.
We need to slow down. I have seen some insane stuff, guys. I'm just gonna tell you.
Some people ain't crazy.
Have the best sex.
I'm trying to figure out how the people see, Matt. That's the problem right there. I'm trying to figure out how the two people ever ended up in the same bed together.
Now, Linda, you know darn well the crazy ones have the best sex.
I ain't going there. I ain't even gonna go there.
And if that is the case, you're expecting the crazy to be able to co-parent peacefully?
Well, you never expect to get her pregnant, because when she's telling you, baby, you can do it, and go ahead, do it. And, you know how that is. Go ahead and do it. This yours. Yeah,
and how you do it? It's yours. Damn, it's 4 hours. It's 4 hours later. You still doing it, Do
it, baby. It's yours. Do it. And guess what you do? You crazy enough. Goodness. You emotionally insane, and you let that thing go up in there. Now she's like, I'm pregnant. You telling her, listen, I don't think we need a child. And she's like, no, I'm keeping my baby. And you going through this back and forth. Now you got a baby here, and you like, man. This has been crazy for the longest. But
sometimes
crazy the entire time. But guess what? That stuff be so good.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't on that
and you know what I say. And as long as your little head continues to rule, you will continue in the drama.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Listen, I'm not
So
disagreeing with you.
if your
I'm only
little head
stating.
is saying,
but the
if
thing
your
is,
little head is saying you can't help yourself, go for it, dive in.
but sometimes you're not crazy until you meet that one that makes you crazy.
Whatever.
Well, love make you crazy, sex make you stupid.
Okay.
Okay, hey, it is at 10:02. We overtime. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves out. And we do need counseling from you, Linda. Because
Okay.
every week I'm getting counseling from both of y'all. So
Okay.
thank y'all.
So listen, everyone. Yes, I take my work very seriously, okay? And I do because of our children, and I do because the mental health of all of us, the breakdown in our families, in our communities, especially in our families. We have got to do better. We cannot afford to go through life and continue to see our young women and boys out on the street turning out over and over again. What's going to happen? So we need to first of all learn self-control. And if you're struggling in any area of your life, yes, it's what I do. I do remote coaching and counseling, and can work from anywhere. I usually do via video, so that we can actually look at each other and as we're having our conversation, or phone if a person prefers. But we just need to do better, and don't ever be afraid. I think we need to remove the stigma again and help. We don't know everything. If you knew everything, you wouldn't have to go to a doctor when you have a medical problem. No one has a physical scar on their body that doesn't heal. I don't care how small it is. If it doesn't heal, you go to the doctor to understand why. The same thing happens with mental and emotional scars. If you haven't healed, it's okay. We need to get rid of that stigma. And I can tell you, a lot of the drama does hinge on how mentally healthy people are. Some people cannot take another abandonment or rejection. That's where they are, on the brink of real insanity sometimes. So these are the behaviors that are being played out with your children. So if you need help, even if I can't help you, I can certainly try and help you get connected to recommend you with someone that can. But don't be afraid to reach out. LindaHartStreeter.com is where you can get to me at, or through Facebook. That's it.
So Felipe from the Spinner says you can't color a fault and you can't hide an emotion. So what I've gotten from the show, and I want to give to you all, is that learn how to love, learn how to forgive, and learn how to understand. Proverbs 4:7 said, wisdom is the key. So get wisdom. But in all thy getting, get an understanding. And that's what I want you all to get from this show tonight. How I want you to get an understanding of the individual that you were in a relationship, that you created or co-created a child with. And so that you all can learn to co-parent together. It takes work. There has to be work involved. There has to be commitment on both sides. And what I'm saying to you is that child who's sitting there watching and learning needs to learn the right way, the right things. You don't want to create a child that is vulnerable, that is broken, because those things that are broken can be sometimes irreparable. So irreparable, I'm sorry. So I will say to you that we're going to continue on in the mantra of healthy relationships and healthy living. And on that note, I'm going to sign out. Red wine. Good night.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. But one thing I'm gonna leave you with is in the beginning, there was communication. Somewhere in between, it was lost. So if you're going to end a relationship, or if you're going to continue a relationship, there still need to be communication. In relationships, communications work. It works. So let's not stop talking to each other. We must talk to one another to make relationships work. So I am the Doctor of Love, and we will see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Tell a friend and share. We love y'all.
Alrighty.
Deuces.
Bye. Good night, everyone.